So we've talked about vocabulary quite a bit. Primary strategy for teaching vocabulary is, new terminology is, first, we study the words individually. We find those words that are problematical. We study them separately and discretely first, and then we're going to use them in text. Now we have a sense of how they mean, now we're going to use them. So, when we say incidental and direct, we mean two different things. Incidental means, oh, here's a new word in the text, let's figure out what it means. Direct is, here are the words we're going to study, we're going to learn them, and then we're going to apply them. Okay? So incidental, you just happen to find it. Study direct, you're kind of pre-planning. Whether you're picking out the words or the kids are picking out the words, either one. Sometimes it's nice to let the kids pick out the words. Pre-teach. But there's another thing here also, which is what we call the discovery process. How many words are, let's just say English, how many words are in the English language? Just a rough estimate.
8 million. 200,000.
It's something like 273 gigabillion, gigatrillion, give or take quadruplex. The point is, there's a lot of words, right? If you teach kids 10 words a week, how many weeks do you need? There's not enough time to teach kids all the words they need to know. Sometimes we have to teach a very specific, explicit terminology for the content and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, there are too many words. So not only should we be teaching them words, we should also be teaching them a process for learning words. Okay? So, teaching them words, we're gonna look at some words, we're gonna look them up, we're gonna do some things with words, we're gonna break them apart, we're gonna look at root words and all that, we're gonna study them, and then we're gonna put them in text. That's our discrete. But, so that's that. But the discovery process is really where we need to get kids, because they will encounter words that they do not already know. So, what are they going to do in that case? And that our job then is to teach them, here's what you do. So, let's talk about that for a second. We'll come back to all that. Okay. Here is the process. Oh, we didn't do this one. All right. Okay, that was a good one. Where is my piece? Notice patterns, patterns, patterns. I just name them out and we know what to do. Patterns and processes. All right. So before we do this, does anybody already know the meaning of the word remuneration?
What word?
Remuneration. Remuneration, not remuneration, which is reapplying numbers. Remuneration.
Something like compensation.
Okay. Oh, we got to do that one for sure. Okay. When students encounter new words, or when readers encounter new words, the very first thing that we do is we try to sound them out. So, the first okay, so the word is remuneration. Let's sound it out together. Let's just do the syllables. Remuneration. Together? Remuneration. Again? Remuneration. So we're reading it. We're doing the decoding thing, right? We're sounding it out. That's the first thing the readers do when they encounter new words. They try to sound them out. They break them up into parts. They put those parts together. They say it out loud. We just did that. Remuneration. Always the first thing we do. What happens then, the reason why we're doing that is we're thinking to ourselves, okay, now that I hear the word, now that I've sounded out, I actually know what the word is, do I recognize it? Is it in my oral vocabulary somewhere? So I've sounded it out, do I know what it is now? Okay? we're going to assume the answer is no in this case. The second thing that readers do, so the first thing we do is teach kids sound it out. And we probably almost all do that anyway, right? Sound it out together. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. We're going to do it together, or you're going to do it. The second thing that happens is we do what's called word analysis. Now, let's look at parts of the word. So remuneration. And we do the syllables because that helps us do the analysis. Are there any parts of that word that you recognize? Re, which means, perhaps it means do again, right? What else does re mean? I'm not going to give you the answer, I'm going to give you some clues. Regarding, recognize, react. So read means do it again or again, but it also means
Do it with or because of?
Because of, regarding. It can also mean about. Right? Regarding this, it's about this. So we're looking at parts. Okay, so that's read. Any other parts you recognize? Okay, English teachers, Asian, A-T-I-O-N. Asian turns a verb into a
No.
and an Asian is always going to be the name of an idea or a process, right? It's going to be an intangible. Nation, for example, right? It's an idea, concept. So we know that it's a noun, it's about something. Mune, read mune, that's the second syllable. Any recognize it there?
Monetary.
It means monetary. Even it looks like it, right? Money, monetary, okay. So it's something about money, maybe? All right. So the third part of the process, second part of the process is let's actually look at the parts. And that's what we're doing here. That is the second step we have to teach kids. Because what too many kids do, they're like, I don't know the word, and they just move on, right? And if that word is important to the content, now they don't understand the content either. It just becomes a lot of activity, a lot of effort, with zero value. So the second thing we have to teach them to do, and it's that pattern, as we do it multiple times, is look at the word parts. The third part is called context clues. What are the words around it? What does the passage seem to be about? So, for example, if we look at the fourth paragraph, the Investment Association represents the UK's £5.5 trillion asset. Said it would like to review its principles of remuneration. Are we talking about money here? Okay, let's go up to the previous one. What is the first sentence there? Somebody out loud.
We need to restore public confidence in executive pay.
So what are we talking about here?
Pay.
Pay, which is kind of like what we said, mune is sort of like money, right? Is it starting to ring some bells now, what this might mean? So the third part of the process is, let's look at the context. Are there any clues? Do we start seeing some repeated words and phrases that give us an idea, a general idea of what the overall passage is going to be about? The last thing we do, if all that fails, we sound it out, we don't know it, we looked at the parts, we're still clueless, context clues, we just can't come up with some kind of a usable working definition of it. The last thing that we do is we go out and we get a definition. We ask Google, we pull up, we go ask Webster, beg from the teacher, right? We don't start with this, we end with this. And then, so we're going to say, the process of payment and reimbursement for services and goods and so on. Then we say, does that fit the context? Yes. Does it give us any more clues about the parts? There's the whole monetary thing, right? Yes. We already know how to say it. Now let's put it into place. So, if the given definition of remuneration is the compensation for service, monetary compensation for services. Now, when we look at this first sentence, does it start to make more sense? We move away from the current long-term incentive plan model. The report aims to rebuild trust by strengthening remuneration committees and their accountability. So what are remuneration committees? Anybody?
Groups that determine payment.
People that decide how much people are going to get paid. Right? That is the discovery process. Oh, you could have done it all down here. But that is the discovery process. Sound it out, look at the parts, look at the context. If worst case scenario, go get a definition. But when you do that, you've got to go backwards. Does that definition fit the context? Some words have more than one meaning. Does it give us clues about the parts of the word that we can then use next time we see those parts of words? And now let's read the piece. And we can do all of this both directly, or choose the words ahead of time like I did here, or incidentally. Whoa, we stumbled on this word. Do you know what it means? Okay, let's decode it. Let's do an analysis. Let's look at the context. If all else fails, we'll get a definition. So what is our topic for the day? The what of what?
Joy of reading.
And the components of, right, 6 components of reading. And we have some vocabulary, don't we? So, here's a good way to spot check your understanding of vocabulary. You have 6 cards. Each one's got a different reading component on it, right? I'm going to give you a let's do this better. Let's do it a more better way. Shuffle your cards around, face down. We're going to do a card trick here. Move them around, face down, don't look at them. Move them face down. Okay, you partner 1, do you know who you are? First partners, raise your hands. Everybody's got a 1, so everybody else is a number 2. Okay, so partner 1, eyes on me. Here's what we're going to do. Cards are face down. Without looking at it, I'm going to trust you. Put it on your forehead so you can't see it, right? Partner's 2 job is define this for me in such a way that I know what you're talking. I know what this word is on my head. Okay? And if you get it, then partner 2. And partner 1 does the definition until partner 2 can get it right. Don't tell the word, give the definition. Go. All right, we don't need to go through all of them. You get the idea? Okay, so
You're that kid I hate from class. That's the final.
with this vocabulary exercise, what percentage of you all were meaningfully participating at once? 100% of you, right?
Just kidding.
Did you have to think about the meanings of the words?
Yes.
Did you have to put those definitions in your own terms?
Yes.
Yeah, because when you use words, you're only going to use them according to your own terms, right? Your interpretation of them. So yes, you had to do that, right? The person who's holding the card up here, what does that person have to do? Think. Yes. And not just think about recall, but they're asking themselves, what does, and when we think about what that person says, it's not just vocabulary anymore, it's also, we're thinking about how language is being used. Or a language, and we're trying to come up with how it fits our own definitions, our patterns. We're coming up with our own, which means we're also doing comprehension to a certain extent. Okay? This doesn't go in my grade book. I can look and I say, well, they're getting through it, right? And the only way you're going to the next one is if you've answered this one correctly. So it is a self-grading, self-correcting activity that forces kids to think about definitions of words and how they are used. Not too bad, huh? So if I were to hold it up, and my word was elucidate, could you define it?
Yes.
See, suddenly you're all now thinking about the word elucidate. See how easy that is? That's called off the top of your head, because I couldn't be more clever.